Just finished my my salmon dinner, and I paired it with, which I normally never do, a Cabernet, and this is the Smith Madrone from 2 nights ago. I did not have it last night. I had an amazing Sancerre, an old vine Sancerre, which was definitely one of the best Sancerres, if not the best Sancerre. Best Sancerre I've ever had, and not the best Sauvignon Blanc I've ever had. Didier Dagenau, two of his were the two, Pure Sang, and blanking on his more expensive one. Well, he passed away, Didier Dagenau, and I won't talk about him, but that's Polyfumé, which is right next to Sancerre. Both excel in the Loire Valley with the Sauvignon Blanc. Great. The other great places for Sauvignon Blanc being New Zealand, and then Chile's having some success, but then California. Not the biggest fan of the California Sauvignon Blancs. I'm sure there's some better ones out there. I just haven't explored them yet. Silex, which is a type of soil type too. There's like a flintiness to the ones in Sancerre and Loire, and less tropical, grapefruity, and grassy, like the ones in New Zealand. Ones in New Zealand I call a very fresh wine. I have to be in the mood for it. I do like them when I'm in the mood for it. I prefer Sancerre and Polyfumé from the Loire, so that's what I had yesterday, was an old vine Sancerre, which was great. It had a little bit more body to it than normal. I don't know if it was oak aged or not. I couldn't really tell, but it definitely had more of a viscosity to it. It was a great wine. I ended up finishing the whole bottle, so no review on it, but nonetheless. So this has been going for 2 days, and I had one glass, and I have one glass left, and it absolutely has evolved over the 2 nights. So I just do believe this wine needs a good amount of decanting. Way more aromatic. More of the fruit aromas are coming out. More of the secondary and tertiary flavors are coming out. Not so much tertiary as much, because it's only got 6 years on it, but some for sure. There's the fruit combined with the herbal components, and then on the palate, I got a eucalyptus thing going. There's a bit of a eucalyptus on the finish. And it finishes very long. I don't think I mentioned that the other day, but it's got that gritty tannin, and then it finishes extremely long. It's a really well-made wine, and it's made for the long haul. Nod to Bordeaux, maybe not, I don't know. Maybe nod to not Old World. A nod to Cabernet of the 70s and 80s. It was another, I watched this on Som TV. I also watched Ridge, it was on Som TV also, Behind the Glass. Now I know Ridge Vineyards, and they're in the Santa Cruz Mountains. And then made the Ridge Montebello, which was in the tasting of the Judgment of Paris 1976, with the California wines by Steve Spurrier put up against the French wines, and California came out #1 on the red and the white category. Ridge Montebello was a Cabernet at the time, sort of middle of the road. I'm sorry, it wasn't middle of the road. It came out like 5th out of 10th in the red wine category, but beat out some first growth Bordeaux's. Now, Ridge Montebello was supposed to be similar, like non-overly unctuous Napa cab, but I think it's about $200-300 at this point. So a bit out of my, a good amount out of my price range, but maybe something I splurge on one day, especially if I could find an older vintage of it. Ridge is also really well known for their Zinfandels, restrained style of Zinfandels, and a number of other wines, but Ridge makes a lot of stuff, and they've stayed true to what they've been in that region for a really long time. I don't know why I just thought about Ridge, except that was also Behind the Glass on Som TV, and that's where I discovered the Smith Madrone. And I will definitely be buying 2 or 3 of these. I feel like I want to drink one in another 2 years, and then the other 2, like I mentioned in the video, and I did this probably in another 5 to 6 years. So, wonderful wine. Good stuff. Now, I'm going to pause it so I can prep the next one I want to talk about. Or, screw it, cut it into 2 videos. So, that's the update on the Smith Madrone 2015 from Spring Mountain. Definitely not for everybody, right? Like for 60 bucks, and you want more of that Napa unctuous fruit, you know, looking down at what I got, Chapelet for sure comes to mind. Frog's Leap's more on this level, even more restrained and different. There's so many $50 cabs. Turnbull. Now I'm sounding like I'm blanking, like I can't remember all the $50 and $60 Cabernets out there, but there's so many. They're all wonderful, and delicious and big, and layers of flavor. And I'm not gonna say one dimensional. That's absolutely untrue, but their dimensions are in that big brooding side, and a little less, which is sort of this style and what Frog's Leap does as well. Most wines, like I think I mentioned in a video, are drank within 8 hours of purchasing, the large majority. So when you lay a wine down and see what it does, it really shows you some other things, what it can do. All right, that's it on this one. I'm going to do another video.